All right. Greetings and salutations, everyone's. That sounds super churchy. Oh,
Hallelujah.
first giving honor to God, who is the head of my life,
Hallelujah.
to the pastor, saints, and everybody in their respective places.
Yes,
This is the Justice League Friday night chat. People, introduce yourselves. The kids call.
Oh, wait, we can't even get introductions, God. Well, hello. My name is L Teddy 27, and I am the best one on screen right now. I am the nicest. I am the most cultured. I am the intellect of the building.
Come on.
I'm here to suit all of your needs.
Yes.
You made me do my own intro, so I don't know what you want from me. What do you want from me? What do you want from me? Dear God. Shouts out to the squad.
Have mercy.
Why are people nice?
Hey, you guys, it's really B. How's everybody doing? Hope you guys are having a great week. And we are here to have a good time, honey. I'm excited because y'all know I have been standing for Miss Hershii Liqcour all season. So I am excited to be here.
Yes, God, honey. YB here, also known as Yes Bitch, honey is God. Yeah, y'all know what it is already. I'm happy to be here. Hershii Liqcour. What's tea, honey?
I know we don't get to hang out at Abby's house often. She don't invite us over.
Right.
That's because I'm not hospitable.
Don't know how to act.
No, I'm not hospitable at all. I'm
Not
not.
nice.
I love
Probably
y'all.
because L Teddy don't know how to act. You see, we already started.
Wait, no, it had nothing to do with me. It had nothing to do
We
with
ain't never gonna get invited back.
Children, we have a guest. Well, lovely guest. If you could please introduce yourself to the people, because
Yes. My name is Hershii Liqcour-Jete from the legendary House of Jete here in Los Angeles, California. How y'all doing?
we are one from the House of Jete in California,
Yes,
not
ma'am.
to be mistaken with the ones from New Jersey,
At
because
all.
we don't know them hoes. Okay.
At all.
Amen.
Amen.
I'm trying not to stand out and have your boyfriend send me anthrax in the mail because I'm having a whole fan moment with Hershii on the screen. Hey,
Listen, he
no.
be mad at me too, talking about who are these people on these reviews calling you cute? I told him, sir, calm down. Like, relax.
Right.
Let me get my tens. Let me get my tens.
Right. Okay. Hershii, turn your volume up a little bit.
Turn it up.
It's kind of low. Yeah. Turn up a little bit, please. It's
Yeah,
sounding a
these
little
people
low.
real loud.
I just
These
want people to
are
make sure
real
they
loud.
can hear you, honey.
Let me see.
You look good, as always.
Okay.
Thank you.
Melanin
Hey,
powder.
yo,
Thing.
iPhone.
Are you using any Fly Kings products?
See, there we go. We got started.
I don't even have my
I use Cantu. No shade to any, no shade to Fly King.
The fact that they kept calling that man the old dude, the whole time they were trying to tell him. I was
They
like,
kept calling him the older gentleman, like he was somebody granddaddy.
right. But he does look like he's about 52 years old. He
He
does
just
look
like a good
52.
3-piece. That's all.
No, he's aesthetic. His face is 52.
Andrew Caldwell T.
His hairline is
I'm
52.
not about to play with
All
y'all.
right, we not listen. Okay, let's start over. Let's start. Yeah.
Can y'all hear me better? Does it sound better?
It's about the same.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
How about we ask the chat if they can hear?
Yeah, maybe
Are you in the chat?
Are you using your phone?
I am using my phone.
Are you sitting your speakers down on something?
Maybe that's
If you
what
can
it
try to
is. Can you hear me
elevate-
now? How's it
Better.
sound?
We can hear you better now.
Oh, okay. It was the charge.
Yeah, it sounds better. It sounds better now. Yeah. Okay.
Are my headphones over there?
Okay.
Oh, is that the husband?
It is.
Oh,
Hey.
hey, husband.
This should be in the bowl by the keys.
You want
My head-
black love, honey. Hello, God. Oh, he's black, right?
He's Afro Latino.
Oh, hello.
Okay, Afro-Latino.
Okay.
No,
We can do that. We can do that. All right.
He's dying to be seen on his camera. Here, say hello.
Come on
Come
and
on.
say hi to
Say hello
us.
to the people.
Hey.
Ooh. Don't y'all make a couple.
Oh, cute as shit.
Your husband.
That's a good OnlyFans video right there. That's a good OnlyFans video right there. I'm here for it. That's
Oh, no,
money
thank
coins.
you.
Your
We have.
husband just showed up,
Sir.
and so did mine. Hi, Wilda. How are you?
Oh Lord, there goes his husband in the chat.
You can't take us off today.
What?
You can't take us off today.
I know.
So, all right. So, for those who don't know, which I think everybody in the room knows, Mr. Hershii Liqcour is from the new show, Chasing L.A., one of the newest shows under the franchise, the Chasing Reality franchise. Abby, did we? Oh, okay. I'm about to say, you look like you was frozen at first. So, Abby, you go ahead. This is your invited guest. I was just trying to get us back on track, honey. Go on and
I was doing something else. That's why I was letting you talk.
Oh, okay. No problem. Well, Hershii, can you just tell us, like, let's start from the beginning. How did you get linked up with the show? How did you get linked up with Chasing L.A.?
Got you. Can y'all hear me with these in?
Yeah, we can hear you loud now. Yeah.
To get it out the way, I'm not hung up on pronouns, so he, she, they, whatever you call me, it's fine.
Okay.
Okay. My name ain't Fran.
I have to play with you. I got on the show like completely on accident. I just around this time last year, actually, I just finished watching Chasing Dallas, the like reunion, and I just had a random thought. I wonder if they coming to LA. Let me just go look. And I went to the show and went to the Chasing Reality channel and saw they had just closed the auditions. Oh. So I went to Twitter and I followed all the producers. I followed Q and Audario and our producer at the time, Blake, just to get my name in their face.
Right.
And they Blake ended up sending me a message and was like, I see your pictures, like, why didn't you audition for the show? And I was like, oh girl, it's cool, like I'll wait for season 2, y'all already doing what y'all doing. She was like, no, send me a video as soon as you can. All right. I was like, all right, I'll send you one tomorrow. So I woke up the next morning, made the video and sent it in, and they casted me the next week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I know Abby, I'm gonna go. She's still working on something. I'm gonna go and speak for Abby. Abby has been following you on TikTok since before the show. So when they did the meet the cast, she was standing like, wait a minute. So Abby was already familiar with you and your work, with with your drag persona and everything like that from TikTok. So I guess let me shut up. L Teddy or YB while Abby's finishing working on that. One of y'all want to ask her? I don't want to monopolize the conversation because I could do this all day.
You do have to
That's why I'm shutting up. My bad.
Yes, thank you. Now, I'm sorry. You can't mute me. Can't mute me today. Nah. Anyway, Hershii. So you on the show? Y'all are taping. When you first got filmed or not filmed or selected for the show, was that before COVID got really bad, or was that before the things kind of went downhill with your job and everything, or was it after?
It was after. That's how I got like heavily invested in Chasing Reality. Actually, I just started watching it like all the time. So maybe it's May now. Maybe like June was when I got actually casted on the show. So that was after. So by this time, like I lost my job in March, and that's when everything like went downhill, so to speak. But yeah, June is when I got casted on the show.
Did you know any of these happened before you got on this Chasing LA? I'm just asking.
I knew
Lord God.
I knew Fly King. Fly King, because I'm a big fan of battle rap. So like Fly King is like effortless.
And a big fan of George Jefferson drag. I mean,
I'm not about to play with you. I like his suit.
No.
I like his suit.
No. But you did know Fly King out. Now I will say this. I do. The time that I haven't seen him rap, in the battle rap, it's been cute. The one that he did during his confessional, that first episode he was on, I was like, that's not cute at all.
Because
But
he
the
was,
other
he gets
time,
a lot of shade for that, but he was kind of like introducing himself in a battle rap form. He was actually like giving Kendra some praise. You just have like
no,
you
it
just
had
like
not. No, it had nothing to
and
do with him shading Kendra.
that's your
Nothing to do
face
with him.
heavy.
It was all about. It was
Sleeping.
all about. It just. Yeah. It didn't work for me. It was a
It's
no
just
for me
because I
also.
know how battle rap sounds. I knew where he was coming from when he like presented it that
Oh,
way.
listen. Those of us up here are very familiar with rap, battle
Oh,
rap, and all genres of hip hop. We are very
you
much.
just
We're
wasn't here
We
for
familiar.
are
it.
It just
very.
wasn't good.
We're
That's
here for
all.
all of that.
Let's
That's not
be
how that
honest.
works.
It was very
You
warm.
just wasn't here.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
beloved.
He would have
No.
got chopped. No, ma'am.
He
No,
was
God.
serving very much for Jones from G Status. I mean,
Go to hell. Why would you say that? Why would
very
you do
much.
that?
Yeah, yeah. It was everywhere. It was very confusing. It was a bunch at one time. Of course,
Oh,
I just wasn't
Jesus
here for
Christ.
TS Kendra shade, and it was obvious shade. I don't see how that was
And
paying
none of
homage
the
to
people were
homegirl,
helping
but
us.
whatever. Do you have any previous production experience? Have you ever done a show before?
I was on what show was I on? Modern Family. I was on their Halloween special
Oh,
episode on their final
Oh, you've been
episode.
on real TV.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I was on that final
Okay.
episode. Like you can see me. I had like it wasn't a speaking role, but like I was. If you go to the episode 10, it goes to the end of the episode. I was next to the queen that was speaking, and then at the very end of the episode, like we're on stage like dancing. So I've been on TV before.
hmm.
Oh,
Come on, TV. Tell the girls,
Is
real
Sophia
girls do real
Vergara a
things.
bitch?
Who?
Sophia Vergara.
That's the main lady.
Yeah, the Spanish bitch.
I don't want to call her. So you could say that meeting her, like, because I had the scene with her, but what it came across to me was she was just focusing on her lines. But she did come across a little bitchy. But I thought that was more so because she was trying to get through her lines, not because like
Okay.
she wasn't featuring anybody.
I love you, Hershii. Oh, I love you.
Because you really tried to clean that up. You really
Cause
was
you
cleaning that up, honey.
always
You
find
cleaned
the
that all the way up, honey.
honey.
I told you my petition is to replace Imani with Hershey when this season is over. Anyway,
Oh shit!
because
Listen.
it's just too much. She
But
do too much at this point.
I need to make a meme out of you laying on that yoga mat eating your orange, looking back at them like
A girl, child.
I need a meme of that.
But
first of all, we climbed up to the top of this mountain just for y'all to get into another fight.
For what?
and the main one complaining about people fighting is the main one orchestrating all of the fights. Girl, what's your
If
problem?
y'all had, and then everybody would have been just as mad if because they did a shot of how big, like how many those stairs are at least a foot high each. Like we had to march up those stairs, and if they showing you how big that mountain actually is, like I was over it. What
You could have left my fat ass at the
I
bottom.
could have left my burden at the
We
bottom
could
of the
have
mountain.
down there. I'm not doing
Okay.
We said you can lift my burden at the bottom.
Right at the bottom.
But they say if we have the faith the size of a mustard seed, we can move that mountain. Amen.
Well, tell that to the rest of the cast because they
Right. Let me ask you this, Hershey.
I lay at the feet of the altar, not at the top of it. Listen.
Right. Let me ask you this question, Hershey. So now that y'all are 5 episodes in, I'm sure that especially within the community, you become a known face and everybody wants some parts of Hershey. One, how are you dealing with that? And two, how is your significant other dealing with that? Because a lot of times the significant others have more difficulty dealing with it than necessarily the person themselves. So how are you handling that or, adjusting to that and dealing with all of that? There's notoriety, the fame, because you are the star at this point. We don't want to see the rest of these people.
Well, I mean, not to my own horn, but I don't want to say it's notoriety, but I've like on the drag scene, I'm known to an extent. If you live out here in Los Angeles, like the House of Jete is a known drag, not like ballroom house, but a drag house. So like we're known like out here. So that's never been an issue for me and my boyfriend because he doesn't have that type of energy to where he's jealous or don't want nobody looking at me. And I don't have that energy towards like when people see him. Like I told him before, like I like that people look at you because I mean, you cute. So at any time when we out and somebody's flirting with you, I like the idea that I can walk up to you whenever I feel like it and like snatch you. So that's cool.
Let me gather you up real fast.
You know, be like, you think he cute, so do I. And
so
tonight
he's gonna come with me.
Right. Thank you, boo.
Okay, I'm with it. I'm definitely with that. I'm with that. YB, I don't want to step on nobody's toes. Me and El Teddy done asked some questions. I don't want to step on no toes.
No, I don't have one of these shoes. You're fine. Go ahead. Do whatever.
I did want to ask because you're one of my favorites, just because of your well-balanced nature. Coming into this and like seeing things play back, do you recognize that you are the MVP? Because for some reason you're able to keep a steady balance
for me
and not really gear towards the negativity, or you're just dead center neutral. And it frustrates me that everybody else seems to cater to the fuck shit, but you just are like, girl, bitch, let me just revel in who I am, because I know that I am who I am. I'm balanced, and these girls are fighting for chips, and I'm over here trying to get these dollars, bitch.
It was multiple things. So like coming into like when the season was over with, I was concerned. Like me being called the fan favorite and everything actually threw me off because I just knew by the time we ended, like nobody was going to be checking for me because I wasn't in like any of the mess. Mm-hmm. But like if you saw the episode last night, I had just got that information before, like it was around the time, I can't remember if it was a week before or a week after, but I got that information when we started the filming. So for lack of better, like to some extent, like I was always kind of checked out because I was always somewhere else when, especially when they started arguing, and I thought it was something stupid that we could have got past. I naturally just like, girl, I'm not really trying to hear this. And then on top of that, like when we met, it was always, you don't just drive 20 minutes in LA. It's always 30 minutes to 45 minutes wherever you're going. So I was also mad that I was wasting my damn gas because I drive a gas guzzler. So I was mad at the gas tank. Like, girl, I drove all the way out here and we doing this again. So it was on accident. It was just me. Like I was just being who I was. Like when people get to argue like that and I don't feel like nobody's listening to each other, have it. I'm just gonna let y'all do what y'all do. When you see next week episode, they're probably gonna have the camera mostly on me, like in the back eating, because that's what I came there to do.
Okay,
like,
now who was that from last season?
Travis.
I'm gonna get
find my plate. Yeah,
right. I'm gonna get these good crab legs. So let me ask you this, and I'm not asking this to be shady, so you can pass on this question.
Yeah,
because you did binge watch Chasing Dallas, so you understood the brand to a certain extent because you had watched Chasing Dallas. I'm assuming maybe even Chasing Atlanta. So you know that there's a certain level of drama and mess. I mean, it's reality. Yeah. So did it throw you off at how much, how fast, because it seems like you said, I felt like you were sort of ready for a certain level, but did it throw you off that, because I'm going to say as a reviewer, and I'll speak for myself, I can't speak for, I know what we talk about in the group chat, but I know for myself, that's what really threw me off, because I mean, you expect it, you need a certain level of drama, because that's what people want to see to a certain extent, but that first episode just blew my mind. Did that sort of, were you just not ready for that much, that level, that soon? You know what I'm saying?
I wasn't ready for how long everybody was going to drag their beats out. Okay. I knew they took out a lot. The first night, I tell everybody, was like 3.5 hours at least of them arguing back to back to back. But I also was sitting there and I saw where all the arguments started from and why they became what they were. It was just a bunch of alcohol and everybody misunderstanding each other. Mm-hmm. So I understood that. I wasn't mad at the first night because I got what happened. And I actually was like low-key enjoying it because I wasn't in it. But what I was mad at later on in that season was like nobody seemed to want to move on from the first night. Right. It was like most of what you're seeing is beef that nobody got past from night one.
Well, you said that last night. You were like, so you still mad? Like,
I was confused. Like,
right? Like, she apologized. I thought we were done with this. Yeah.
Right. Yes. That threw me all the way off. I was like, girl. You still who you mad at?
What are we doing?
Right.
I,
I,
I don't know.
right.
My thing about it is, and I gotta be that guy. The show has received some criticism
Mm-hmm.
that is not par with the Chasing Reality brand to a certain extent,
Mm-hmm.
with some of the editing, and some people have been very critical of the fact that there was so much fighting and stuff so early on, and that
Yeah.
it just didn't seem to fit and work. Have you talked to other cast members that have spoken on that, or what are your thoughts on that? Because people, reviewers, or just subscribers and viewers have been very critical
Mm-hmm.
of Chasing LA. And to a certain degree, I've seen Q push back against that, and some of the other cast members push back against that. And then we've even interviewed Rachel, one of the cameramen and
Yeah.
production there. So, and she's been very defensive and critical about it too. And so I just wanted to get your feedback on that, because I know we have been very critical, and just to see how you all feel about that. How you feel about that, I should say.
It's another place where I like literally sit directly in the middle and I see where everybody's coming from. So from the production side, like I defend them because it's their first time. We had like a switch in production during filming. It's Q's first show. It's all about first shows. So we were all trying to figure out like how to navigate it, how to get through it, how to do our interviews, when to do our interviews. Like we have our criticisms for Q too. And I didn't necessarily all the way disagree with Imani when she said like what she said about the show. Like I didn't disagree with her. I did feel like it was like the first two episodes, I did feel like it was kind of digging at us. Like because everybody seemed to come into this show with the idea of what LA was and that we weren't showing that. But I don't think people understand that LA is not what it appears to be on TV. LA is not glamorous. LA is not cute. LA is dirty. LA is like, it's nothing glamorous about being here. So everything you're seeing is what LA is. Do some people turn it up a little bit more than others? Absolutely. But everything you're seeing is what LA is. I also see it from like everybody that's viewing on the other side. Like it is confusing where all the fights are coming from because they don't really fit all. If they had taken like the first episode, if they had taken away the power of three, no shade to them, and focused on introducing us and the new
I
cast,
said that in my review.
it would have cleaned everything up. Because like we did argue a lot, and I know that was hard on production to edit that out, but the fights did all start from somewhere. They just didn't focus on where they started from and how they got to where they are. They just kind of just blink
we
and it's
found
like
out there was a whole scene that they left out, because remember Alicia was talking about something that y'all had filmed before y'all got there, and that's why she kind of was in her feelings or felt some kind of way, because she felt them talking about her at a previous scene that y'all had, and
so we were supposed to film.
Saw that.
Yeah. So when you see Alicia on first episode, Alicia, Fran, and I think Andre, where you see them walk up on the beach, we all were supposed to have our own little like setup like that, like walking on the beach. But Q was still trying to like Q wasn't used to the time difference. Like the sun goes down a little early out here because we're a little bit further south than what he's used to. So when he came out here to film, he was trying to film us at a certain time and the sun went down. So we had to just cut production like at the beach and go straight to Hamburger Mary's. So everything he had planned didn't work out. And they kind of jumbled all that together. That's like he could like all of that could have been edited better if they like did some better planning. I will say that it was storyboarding and planning for the first episode didn't pan out how it was supposed to.
Okay, but I still feel like they could have put enough in, because the first episode was only like 30 some odd minutes, and every other episode has been like an hour and some change. So you had another 30 or so odd minutes that you could have played with, that you could have added context into it, so we all weren't like, what the hell is going on? Do you people not have any home training? Why are you hi, how you doing? You don't make no money? What? That don't even make no
right.
Who raised your mama? Who raised you?
I agree.
So
let me ask you this question.
They're still on the back end a way you could have edited it and added more time into the first episode to give us some context, so we all weren't like,
I agree with you. Yeah.
I have a question, and it goes to that. So I've been hearing a lot from different cast members that we're not getting the full context of the drama.
Mm-hmm.
So, for instance, with Quan the Poet,
Yeah.
in the first episode with the colorism and statements that he made, apparently there was a conversation that was cut out leading up to the statement that he made. And if only they would have aired the entirety of the conversation,
Mm-hmm.
people would have probably went at him as hard as they did in their reviews, and even as the viewers gave their perspectives in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
So, is that something that is true? Have you experienced that yourself, or have you witnessed?
For me, it is. So I already got my head chewed off from King Payne and Andre, but that's what I felt like. So I'm only speaking for what I felt like I heard the first night. So King Payne and Andre, when they got into it, they went at each other hard, and it was a bunch of black. Not they were coming at each other's skin tone or anything like that, but it was a bunch of you black ass this, you black ass bitch this is that. That's what they started. So when Quan spoke, he was saying back what he already heard them say. From my experience, mind you. Now they don't like me saying that, but that's just what my experience was.
You can only speak from your perspective.
Exactly. So when Quan was saying you're both dark, you're both like those words were put together kind of fucked up, but he was only repeating back what they were saying to each other.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I mean, again, in my review, and I had a couple of people kind of come for me in my comments and was like, oh, so you gonna give him the benefit of the doubt? Oh, wait a minute, you giving him a pass? And I'm like, because it sounded weird.
Yeah.
It didn't seem to flow with the conversation. And so I apologize if it didn't seem like, but I'm gonna give him, I don't know these people. So I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm not gonna label him a colorist off of one comment in a chopped up scene that is clearly chopped up. Because even the whole situation with Fran, Jayla, and Alicia, I was so fucking confused by the end of that scene. Like, did something happen in the bathroom? Which bathroom? Were they all in the same bathroom? Because if they were all in the same bathroom, like, who said what? Now somebody's a cokehead. You mad because you said that you was drinking alcohol, but then I was so confused.
I still don't believe Fred is non-binary, and you can't change my mind.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Tell him what he identifies as, L. Teddy. You can't do that.
Well, Fran is not binary. Fran identifies as not binary. But that's the thing. That's another argument that started because of the alcohol and the misunderstanding. And everybody was so busy trying to cut at each other. They didn't take a step back to, like, Alicia did ask him, or them, see, there it is. He about to get me. Alicia did ask them, well, what do you identify as? And Fran didn't answer in that moment. Fran just didn't answer. So
I said that in my review. I said that. I was like, she asked.
And that's why I feel the way I feel about Fred. I know non-binary people. Non-binary people do not play around. My pronouns are such and such because they know they present. Because a lot of non-binary people know they present in a certain way. And I feel like, wait a minute, let me have my say. Okay, don't interrupt my say. What I'm saying is, ma'am, that when you present a certain way and people automatically, he could look in the mirror and say, I probably present myself as a gay male. And if you're around a lot of people and you don't want to be thought to be a gay male, you probably should say, hey, I'm Fran, I'm non-binary, just so you know, so you don't get confused about what's going on. And so what I'm saying is he didn't introduce that to the group until it was convenient for his argument, until it was convenient for when he was going back and forth. And if you are living as non-binary, you don't just tell somebody you non-binary at the time when you're in the heat of battle and it's convenient for what you trying to get across at that point. That's why I'm like, girl, save it, honey. This is for you, really, B.
Wow.
That's for you, really, B. She know why I'm sitting her that. She already knows.
Go ahead, YB. You look like you're going to rev up.
No, I just, I wanted to take it somewhere real quick. So we see you on the show, and that's great. And I'm glad that the show, I'm not really immersed too much into a lot of the community things like that. So when I'm introduced to people on these shows that I watch, and I find them very interesting. And one question I have for you is, what was growing up like? Did you always have the persona of Hershii Liqcour growing up, and then that developed, that immersedness of her came out because of?
Oh yeah. I used to my introduction to drag was Tyler Perry. So like I used to have a Elvia was.
She's long since been one of the girls.
Oh, I know he would love to hear that.
She's long since been one of the girls.
It was my introduction to drag was Tyler Perry, and that's when I started like coming up with characters. Like I used to be in my basement. I still have all the VHS tapes in my room.
I'm sorry,
And
how old are you?
30.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're on the same page. Amen.
So I used to like be in my basement making up videos and stuff. I have all the VHS tapes, like all that stuff, and I didn't come up with a more younger character, I guess you could say. So I was like 16, 17, and I used to be on YouTube for a little bit. And the character her name was Dawn Tyler-Licious Asia Smith, and that was when I was just throwing on wigs, just throwing wigs and act a fool. And that got played out. I was also in church real heavy. So I was in like 7 or 8 different choirs and like Baptist. So we was in church every Sunday. Like you cannot catch me out of church. All of that.
Well, you got 2 Kojic babies on the so they understand what you're talking
Praise them, glory, hallelujah.
So like my family was Baptist, but they were religious, but not heavy religious, just religious enough to not like that gay shit. So that played into it. Me and my dad we're very good now, but we had an off and on relationship growing up. I was very close to my mom and my grandmas and most of my uncles. People be very shocked to find out like I changed tires in my own oil and like fix my car on my own. Like that's stuff my uncles used to teach me. Like I grew up as whatever a typical man is supposed to be doing. I grew up as that, but I was always a lady under
Still a fucking lady.
No, Missy, I am a lady. Good. I have a question. So since we're going down these roads, let's just go down the road. So we had a wonderful episode this past last night.
I'm sorry.
And we went to some really, really.
I'm sorry. I hate to cut you off.
No,
seriously. Because I had a part 2 to what YB asked, and because you're going to change the whole trajectory. So I was just going to ask my question and then let you, because I know where you're getting ready to go. He about to have attitude. He about to have a whole attitude. Go ahead.
No, you're here now. We're here now. We're here.
My question was going to be, so how did that translate to Hershii Liqcour, you doing drag? Like, how did that translate to that? Because I know where you're getting ready to go, so I wanted to finish up with that before we pivot. That's all.
Well, drag was like at one point drag wasn't even an option. Like my friend would tell me, I just got done talking to him before I tuned in. Like one of my best friends always was telling me, like, Hershii, you gonna be, he didn't say Hershii, he was telling me my name is Tyrell. So he's saying, Ty, you gonna be like on somebody's stage and drag one day. And I'm like, girl, that's too much work. I ain't doing all of that. So my introduction to professional drag, there was a competition in St. Louis. And I went to the competition with just a little drugstore, a palette of eyeshadow, and I stole my sister prom dress, and I went up in there.
Come on, Chi.
Walked into that dressing room, child, and opened the doors, and it's mirrors and big hair and all these rings and jewelry and glamorous dresses, and I froze and just was like, oh, girl, I fucked up. So I turned around and went to the bathroom and started crying. So one of the queens saw me and she followed me into the bathroom. And she saw me in the bathroom and said, oh, honey, what is wrong with you? And I was like, girl, I'm blubbering and crying a mess. Oh, girl, like
the little Latin boy in drag.
Like, yeah, I got this palette and a dress and y'all look beautiful. I look at bad. So she's like, girl, come here. So she grabbed my hand. Each queen in that room like gave me something that I could use for that pageant. So like a wig, a gown, some nails, like everybody gave me something. And that was like my introduction to drag.
Oh,
and
wow.
That's when I was like, something about this. Yeah, something about this is something. I didn't pick it back up again until I was like 25. 25. I picked it like that's when I was in Atlanta. And I went to, I don't know if y'all are familiar with Bird Carts, but I went to this club called Bird Carts and they were having like weekly competitions. And I've been doing it like literally ever since. Like there hasn't been a weekend I have not done drag since then.
And just to be clear, there is money on the floor.
All over it.
Okay. Okay. Every time I go to a drag show, it's money on the floor. Hey.
All over it.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Okay,
I
Teddy.
apologize again for cutting you off.
Go ahead.
Oh, it's my turn now. It's
Yes,
me
baby,
now.
it's your turn.
Can you mute her? Can you mute her while I'm talking? Can you mute her? No. Anyway,
Ask the question.
so last night we went to some places that were kind of dark,
Yeah.
that were kind of yeah there, and I'm sure you watched it back. You maybe you didn't, because sometimes I'm not that way. I don't watch anything I do back. I don't. I normally. I just this year started watching stuff from 2019 that I did. So I'm not one that likes to watch back stuff that I do because I think I'm horrible. But when you watch it, because as I watched it last night, I was in here snot bubbles blubbering because a lot of homosexual gay men and so forth have horrific stories, but um the whole it wasn't the HIV thing that got to me. It was the part about the rape and everything,
Hmm.
and only because having had that be a story, been my story in my life, and I always say, you hear a lot of times about the stories of a young child maybe getting abused and molested, and
Yeah.
it's a whole different mental psyche and scenario when you're a grown ass man and
Yeah.
you say, okay, I have another grown ass person just, you know, violating who you are. And that whole thing and so that's a whole sobering, obliterating the psyche type deal. And
Baby.
so just to be able, that's something that I even talked about in my review. That's in the innermost repositories of my brain that people don't get. And so what gave you the impetus to not only just share that, but I'm just gonna put it out there, share with some people. When you look at these people, they don't look like the type of people that I would be necessarily comfortable with sharing all of our business because I see how messy, how quickly they are to just use
Hmm.
anything for a read or for fodder. And
Yeah.
so, what gave you the gumption or the impetus to go ahead and just share that and talk about that with these individuals?
I hope it doesn't sound strange to say, but it was therapeutic. Like I knew the worst part of not just like being raped and having HIV. Like the worst part of it was like the shame that I was feeling. Even now, like I'm still, like I said on the show, I'm still like working through all that stuff. Like it's still hard, but I knew the worst of it was I feel ashamed. Like I feel like I did something wrong, and I'm still going through the part where I'm blaming myself for it happening, and saying it out loud, telling people it's helping me take some of that back. Like I don't have to feel as ashamed as I do. Like every time I say it, I feel like I'm taking a little bit more of my little strength back. I don't like to sound like cliche when I say that type of shit, but that's how it feels. Like I'm taking my strength back because when I first found out, like that first couple of months was hell. Like it took me a while to just say the words out loud. And when I was like, up until I got diagnosed, I had buried being like assaulted. Like I just made up in my mind, like it didn't happen. And you can't tell
Hey,
me that it
I
did
understand
happen.
totally.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. This girl
So
weird
up
about
until
that.
that moment, I had literally like I forgot about it. I forgot about it until they said you're positive. I went immediately back to that moment. I went all the way back there. Like that night, I went there, and I just had to like ask myself some hard questions. Like I had to like grow up, like deal with it. Like, how are you feeling about it? I feel ashamed. Okay, why? Because like, how did I let this happen? Why do you feel like that? And I'm still asking myself those questions. I still don't have some answers, but like, that's how I'm dealing with it. Like, looking at like right in the mirror, like it's a mirror in front of you right now. Looking right in the mirror, asking yourself those questions. How did you do it? Why did you do that? How did that happen? How did you get there? Where are you going? Like, now what? So now what? Now what are we about to do?
You go
And
on
then
living.
my friend, I have a really close friend who was also diagnosed, but he was diagnosed, some years ago, and he's still in a space where he can't say it out loud. And it was more
Wow.
so of a thing for him. Like, that's my best friend. So like Karen, like saying it for him, saying it for like for each other. Like, I got your back, you got mine. So saying it for him. Like, the words need to be said out loud.
Right.
Because that's how I deal with
Right.
it.
And
I
I'm
don't
glad
want
that
to
you
ramble.
mentioned I'm glad that you mentioned your friend because I know that when you told the story, you talked about your drag mother, having you go out there and do that. And I know within our community, there's a lot of that, generational thing where you have the mothers and the kids and stuff like that. And there's this giving back that we feel almost, that is not an option. Like we have to give back to the younger that are coming up
Yeah.
after us. So, what right now? I mean, do you have those in your circles in Atlanta? Not, I almost said Atlanta, Lord, LA, that you can say no. This Mama Hershii, and what do you do to cultivate them and help them? Come along and be better because I noticed that you seem to be level headed. That does come with age and experience and things like that. And so, what are you doing to maybe give back to that next and reach back to that next um, up and coming generation of the girls?
Well, I do that mostly in drag. Like I said, HIV is still new to me, so I'm still working my way through that
Right,
one.
not
So
necessarily just for
yeah.
HIV. I'm just saying, period. I'm just saying,
But
period.
with drag, I get in a lot of trouble out here because I moved out here and they make a lot of these newer girls work for free for years before they get on. A lot of their friends get booked before and they ain't did no work. And I started asking, like again, I started asking some questions. What do you mean I need to come all the way out to what Riverside, which is like 70 miles from here? You want me to come all the way out to Riverside and not get paid? Something about that stink girl. Why can't I get paid and you paying sister over here? And she been doing drag for how many years less than me? No, girl. And I be telling younger queens, no, girl, if you feel like you're owed some money, ask for your money.
Sound like a
If
little RuPaul stuff going on right there to me.
don't play. And it got me kicked out of a lot of clubs. Look, don't play with me because you can't ask me to come to your club and I know you have a budget.
Mhm.
And you
Okay.
and they don't get, and out here at these clubs, the budgets ain't no less than $300 or $150 at least. Give me $50 to come to your club and tips. Stop playing, because if they who the budget going to if it ain't going to the people that's performing? Your pocket? No, girl. So I get in trouble because a lot of the younger queens are trying to figure out how to break in. What do I need to do? Who I need to ask? Don't be scared to ask these people for your money.
Right.
Don't be scared to ask who's there. Don't be scared to ask, can you give me a suggestion? Don't be scared to ask for clothes. I like every time I get done, I don't sell my drag. Every time I get done with some clothes that I'm wearing, I bag that stuff up and hand it to some queens that's trying to, get into the clubs. Like, it's no reason for me to have outfit I paid $100 for, and I'm trying to charge $150 for. Girl, give that to somebody that need it. Stop playing.
Hello. What advice, if any, would you have for someone that has experienced a lot of what you have? Whether it be in the drag world, whether it be as, an LGBT member, whether it be as someone, recently finding out the news that you found out about yourself. Because I know you're still dealing with the emotions in that, so it'd be kind of hard to ask you to give advice to people. But I think whatever you can give, because you don't know who's watching, and you don't know who needs a word real quick. Amen.
Oh, then nobody can shade you with your truth. Like how you said earlier that they can use like me having HIV against me. No, you can't, because I know I got it. So what you gonna say? That I have it? Okay, now what? Well, or with drag, when they try to like when they try to kick me out of one club. I've seen myself perform. I know what I can do. I know how I look. For 4 clubs that's not gonna book me, there's about 8 others that will. So now what?
Okay.
You put me out of this one, I'm gonna be in the next one. I'm going to perform. So now what? Nobody can shade. So my truth is mine, and you can't make me feel no type of way about my truth.
You say you cannot.
Since we're talking about your truth, Hershii, I have a question, Hershii. Since we're speaking in truths, it's telling our truth.
See why we got to cut his ass off? You see why we got to
Question for the people. I asked this for my subscribers and my people.
Yes,
Hershii.
yes.
So,
And I know a question is
Hershii,
about to come too.
oh, you already know, so you're prepared for a good answer. I'm ready for a good answer too. How big is it, sir?
I know. See, That's
Come
between
on, for watching the Justice League.
No,
that's between me, my God, and my man.
Thank you. Amen.
Man.
You better
Wait a minute.
say
No.
amen.
Wait a minute. No, Hershey, I already got you. Because let the record show when I mentioned that in my review, and you never said, and I said, oh, so you're saying that it is big, and you said, oh. I ain't gonna
That's
say
already knew a
nothing.
question was coming.
So we already had this conversation in the comment section.
Remember that apology we gave you at the beginning? Remember that apology?
He already been in my comment
I was already
section,
prepared.
So he already know.
You was already ready.
I was already prepared. I see how you get down these
Already
videos.
prepared. He already knows how it goes on over here.
Let me ask you this, Hershii, and I know you can't save us so much. We're not new to the rodeo, but
Yes, ma'am.
what can you what can we look forward to? I think that
Are you niggas gonna stop fighting?
I do feel like things are evening out a little bit on the show.
Yes.
I'm not, the first 2 episodes, I'm not gonna lie, I was ready to just quit.
Hang it up.
I'm gonna be honest, if it wasn't for the fact that I love Andario and I really do have an affinity for this brand, I would have walked away. I ain't lying. After that second episode, because for me, I was offended. I felt like the level of disrespect that that pole dancing scene at the end, the level of disrespect for me as a friend of the community, as someone who tries and bends over backwards to make sure that I am not being offensive and that I'm being respectful. And I understand, I get it. It's like when black people call each other nigga, I get that. But again, it was just like, for me sitting there, I was just like, what do I do with this? Like, how do I review this?
Yeah.
Because what do I do with this? You know what I'm saying? For me as a reviewer, I'm stepping over landmines trying to get through all of the minutia to get to it. And so, but it is starting to level out. I mean, the drama is what it is, and it was messy last night, and I see that it's gonna be messy next week. And
let me say real quick, I know people feel some type of way about those things happening, but I'm glad they happen on camera, because it's a lot of people that still feel that way about trans women in our community and trans men. And while we don't have the best conversations about it on camera, I will admit that. I'm glad that we're even opening the door for it to be had more often, because it still needs to be had. Like,
I'm glad
people
that
are still
Alicia and Jayla came together and they put aside that. I was very glad about. Very glad that they,
because I
like, we still like collectively as a community, we still talk like that about them. That's why they were so comfortable doing that, because it still happens.
Right. Because I wanted to like Alicia, because that's, first of all, that's my DC homegirl. So, she my DC homegirl. And it's just something about how unbothered she was in that first episode when they was coming for her, and she was just unbothered.
I'm unbothered. Yeah.
Right.
She had that Omarion level. She had that Omarion level of unbotheredness.
Right.
Okay.
And at that pole dancing class, she sat there and danced and had a good time, because you could see it in the clips.
She did.
And then when it got to the part where it was time to talk, she was unbothered, and I wanted to like her.
So unbothered.
I'm glad. I love that conversation that y'all had, because I saw it in your face. You were trying so hard when she was talking about that she was offended that they call her a princess, but
I was like, girl, you're delusional.
She was calling people strippers and drug dealers, and I was like, damn.
Delusions.
That's what I was like. Now they cut out some of our conversations too, and I was like, now Alicia, now you said this, that, and that. Yeah, but Hershii, da. And I was like, but Alicia.
Girl.
But again, I appreciate the fact that you played that role, sort of like, all right, I want to try to find out where we can find our happy place. And so I pray again, back to my original question. What can we look for? I feel like I went left. Anyway, let's get back. What can we that you can share with us that we can look forward to that's coming?
Oh, look forward to?
Well,
wait a minute.
Remember when I'll say this and I'll leave it there. Listen, I'll leave it here. Remember when Imani said the only thing we ain't seen is a gun? We might see a knife, and I'll leave it there.
Lord. Let me ask you this.
Y'all have not seen the worst of the fights yet. Unfortunately, y'all have not seen the worst of the fights yet.
Listen, y'all even.
I saw somebody with a chair in the air in the previews for next episode, but that's a whole different.
I was under that chair. Yeah, I remember that chair very well.
Oh wow! Because I thought
Was
Jeremy
that-
was gonna be one of the calm ones, but it looked like they got Jeremy out his.
First of all, the real nigga stood up in Jeremy because that was the real nigga.
That when he crossed his arms and did a shot.
I was like, no, what is going on?
Wait a minute. Speaking of D. Hawkins, why would you allow your sister?
That's
Why
none of my
you do that?
business. That's none of my business. I was not consulted, and it was none of my
D.
business.
Hawkins, don't do that to D. Hawkins because I've had a wonderful thumbnail for every video this season. D. Hawkins is my thumbnail every week. Shouts out to D. Hawkins. I had both looks last week.
Hershii said
Until
"Ain't nothing to
he
do
did not
with me."
consult me, and it was none of my business.
But
y'all be in his house with the confessionals. You had to see him.
He doesn't be
house.
no, because they did our confessionals in blocks, so we wouldn't see each other, so we couldn't react off of what each other was saying. So when one person, it was only one person would come in right when it starts, and we'll be leaving when the next person came in.
the question is, what
They
was
should
your
when they
Thanksgiving
started
when you
talking,
sold?
they should have called you in early and said, "I need help your sister." Help her.
It's none of my business.
Let me ask you this: is there any? Did you ever have a time during the season where you was just like, you know what? I don't know. You know what? This
First
is just
episode.
way beyond. So it was okay.
Night one.
But you were like, this is just. I can't do this.
Because mind
like,
you, I worked at Hamburger Mary, so when the queens came out, they knew who I was. And when they started doing what they were doing,
They showing their ass at your job.
oh yeah, the queens knew who I was when they came out. So I'm looking. So when they got to doing their stuff, I'm looking around like, oh my, I'm not coming back here.
I have a question for you.
Did you ever get your refill? Because I felt like he was waiting for at least an hour and a half.
What happened?
Did you ever get your refill at Hamburger Mary's?
I only got one glass.
Oh.
One glass of alcohol. Then by that time I said, yeah, y'all can give me the check.
And speaking of Hamburger Mary's, I have a question just to satisfy my own curiosities.
Yes.
Really just to see if I'm right. That scene with you and Andre when you were about to go up that long ass mountain.
Yes.
When he was trying to be shady about Alicia working at Hamburger Mary's and you just told him straight up, bitch, like, girl, I work at Hamburger Mary's and I haven't seen her there.
Yeah.
When he stopped, from the viewer's perspective, it seems as if he wasn't getting any juice or tea from you, so he just left your ass because you weren't inviting that kind of energy with him.
No, it wasn't. Well, let me say from my perspective, I wasn't getting that type of energy from him at the time. We were literally just kind of chatting. And he asked about, like, the way he posed the question on camera sounded weird. In my mind, when he asked me at the time, I was like, no, I hadn't seen her. Because Alicia even reached out to me. It was like, were you trying to shade me? And I was like, no, I just, up until that moment, like, it's a lot of queens in Los Angeles and the surrounding areas. So up until that moment, I literally had not seen her there. So when he asked me, I was like, no, I work there. I don't see her.
Well, that's the thing for me, because as the viewer, I felt as if you were defending her, if anything. Because it seemed as if what the question he was very shady. Like he was trying to be shady about her position. And once you said, hey, bitch, I work there, so what are you trying to say? And then
no, that's what's weird about that was what's weird about the editing, because they weren't mad at each other until the end of that hike. So when we were talking, that was like right before the hike was getting started. So it wasn't coming across like that to me when we were talking. It wasn't coming across shady. It was like we were just, they separated us, so we were just like chit-chatting. And he was like, so have you seen Alicia? Because I heard she works at Hamburger Mary. So I was like, I ain't seen her. So, and on camera, it looks like a very shady conversation, but that's not how I perceived it when we were talking about it.
Okay. And
go ahead.
Oh, just one more question. And just for a community question, because I feel like, have you ever experienced any issues within your own community? Because you know how we can be shady towards people who either do drag, like we see in the show Transphobia. Have you dealt with that in the show or outside of the show at any point?
No, not myself, no.
Okay.
Like in the community overall, like when I first started drag, of course, it's getting better now because drag is so popular.
And what social group more specifically was the one trying to shade you?
I mean men, but that was like a dating pool type of situation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was they, because drag, makeup, and all that stuff is feminine. So you know how men were like, mask and all that bullshit. So that's how we get treated overall. But the dynamic has changed drastically because drag is getting so popular because of Drag Race. So like we're not seeing the same anymore. Like, and that's why I want to be on the show, because I think people see a lot of drag queens and see that we just want to be women, and I just like makeup and hair.
Okay.
I happen to have big stuff. Speaking of being messy, speaking of being messy, who else is gonna give you this kind of interview? Who else is gonna make you laugh like this in the interview? Come on now. I done seen your interviews, and these gonna be trying to be real uptight. We try to have fun over here, okay? So, since we being messy, let's talk tops and bottoms of the show. Tops being the people you see it for, bottoms the people you don't see it for. That's on the cast. Since we doing this, since we going down this road, tops and bottoms of the cast. Who you see it for and who you don't see it for. I'll let you get a good verse in there. If you say I don't feel one way or another, I just make them a good verse.
So here's the messed up thing about being on this side of everything.
Oh dear God, you got to keep it cute.
No, because I do like everybody. Like I have no beef with everybody. Everybody has beef with each other.
Notice this good side eye.
I mean, I don't have beef with anybody. I genuinely don't. I like all the beef that I thought I had at the beginning. I squashed it. Like I wasn't about to, and that's just me. I wasn't about to drag this whole. We filmed for like 4 or 5 months. I was not dragging all of this out over 4 or 5 months over a first initial. Like me and King Payne, like we started off on a weird foot, and we're cool now. Well, I don't know how he feel. I don't have no beef with him. I don't know how he feel. I have no beef with King Payne. Me and what's the name? Andre almost started on a weird foot. I like nipped that in the bud and me like, girl, what is your tea with me? He said he didn't have no tea. End of it. Like I don't do
what is his tea? What
is wrong with him?
I don't understand him. He makes my nuts itch.
He looks bad on camera, but that everybody thinks he's being dramatic, but that's just Andre. Andre is very much I'm the shit. I know I'm the shit, and you can't tell me I'm not. Like he loves himself. He loves him.
But you don't have to be a jackass. It feels like as soon as you turn the camera on, like it.
I will say he will go to 0. He goes from 0 to 60 in 2 seconds. I will say that. He does go from here to. He will go from here to there. That's him. That's literally him.
Well, is there anybody who, when the show started and you started to watch the episode, you saw things that you didn't maybe see during the time? Like it might have changed how you looked at that person or changed how you looked at a situation watching the episodes than it was when you were there in real time?
No, I clocked everybody. Everybody's acting like I expected them to act. I clocked everybody night one. I clocked everybody night one.
You gotta lean on the discernment that you
look at discernment.
That's why I entered the situation. That's why I felt everybody out first. Like, everybody thinks I'm young because, I got, youthful face, fine, cute. But like, I've been around the block a couple of times with the gays. Like, I know what I'm looking at when I see them.
What's your sign?
Sagittarius.
Oh, you a Sag. Ooh.
Sagittarius, Aries, Moon, Leo rising.
That's why we get along. Capricorns and Sagittarius go well together.
What are you?
I'm a Capricorn.
Come on,
Capricorn. I'm a Capricorn as well. My first boyfriend was a Sagittarius. My first boyfriend is a Sagittarius.
Capricorns and Sagittarius, they get along very well. My best friend is a Sagittarius. So.
My best friend is a Sag too.
So
I can't deal with Aries.
Like my
not Aries.
Friends are
not
Sag.
Aries, Pisces.
I can't date them though. I cannot date a Sag.
I can't do Pisces, man.
Friendship wise,
we good. I get on his nerves too, so it's fine. I get it. But no, that's why. But that was also why I was worried about being on the show, because I didn't. When it came to the drama stuff, like I've already figured out how to navigate through that type of stuff, so I don't care like some of the other people do. So I was worried about my position, because I was like, when it come down to the mess, like everybody's gonna want me to be in it, and I'm, I see too many sides of the coin. So I'm like, oh, well, I know where you coming from, girl. I'm not about to give you all that.
Well, the good thing about the Chasing Reality brand is that a lot of people like us have had a chance to grow with them. So there's a much more older crowd now watching, the real fans, the real supporters. So we're kind of over all of that drama shit. So it's refreshing to see someone like you come in and play the role that you are, and just to know that you're being your authentic self. You're noticeable because you're not reaching for the camera.
No.
You know, I said it in my last review, honey. Stars shine bright on their own, and they don't need anything.
Exactly. And I think that's something that resonates. You know, it seems, I said on the review, it seems like so many people are trying so hard to be the star, be the king, the queen, have all this camera time. But when I watch people's reviews, everybody's watching Hershii, who's over here not fighting to have camera time, who's over here not bothered with you whores, who's just over here being. And I think what's refreshing is when people can just be themselves.
And it still gags me every time. I'm not used to it. Like
on reality, even for reality show, people fall in love with individuals, not with the persona. Because after a while, we can see through if you just putting on and you just a really nasty person. People fall in love with good people and good personas. That's why nobody likes me, because I'm not a good person.
Oh my god!
But that's okay.
Let me ask you this question. So I'm sure you're definitely watching the episodes as we are. So when you start to see people pull their layers back and you realize, oh, bitch, we're all the same. We've all come through such shit. We have survived, honey. We've been told no a dozen times in our life. People have tried to strip us away from our humanity because we're part of the community, girl. Like, does that baffle you? And you're just like, look, bitch, I told you. If y'all just, like you said in your confession, if you just shake your fucking hands, bitch, and get to know each other, we wouldn't even have all of this foolishness. And
that's what I'm saying. Oh my god, the fact that Andre and King can't get along is baffling to me, because separate of each other, I've hung out with each of them separate of each other, and they're literally the exact same person.
That's why they can't get along.
And they're the exact same person. They are both the sweetest people in the world. They just, when they get to something about them meeting each other, they can't get it together. I don't know what that is. They clash like no other. Quan, like, the only reason he's getting the bad reviews he did is because of a messed up review of something he said that was taken out of context because of editing. Alicia came in with her guard up. That's all that was when you first met her. Alicia came in like trying to scope out the scene, and then, you know, she was like, girls. Fran came in trying to throw daggers, and that's why, you know, his words was taken out of context. Jeremy came in being himself. D. Hawkins came in, you know, trying to be the person. Everybody, I think that first night really threw everything, like literally the rest of the season off. That first night really threw the rest of the season off.
Is there anything you heard in the confessional? Because I know you all don't see the confessional. Y'all saw things that happen, but y'all don't see the confessionals until we see the confessionals, probably. Right. And so anything you heard or saw in the confessional that made you go, because that thing about with the colorism thing with Quan, that happened in the confessional. We saw that in the confessional. We didn't see that, you know, in the interaction that night. So that, for me, when they do it in the confessional, this is something that you had a chance to go back, watch, think about, and have a calculated response to it, which kind of changes.
But we're also trying to remember what happened as well, because the first maybe 4 episodes we filmed the confessionals 4 months after everything had happened. So they're asking us questions, and we have to think back to like the night it happened, and this is like at the time it's like 4 or 5 months ago, so you can't even remember half the shit you said anyway. Like some of the questions they asked me that didn't make it to the episode, I was like, I said that. Like in one of the confessionals, Fran don't be mad at me, but in one of the confessionals, I called Fran Prince, and I didn't know I called him Prince on the episode. So I'm like, when did I say that? Why did I say that about him?
When you didn't do a Portia. Who said that?
I said, when I said that, girl, I said that. Why did I say that about him?
Right.
Do you think if things were done timely that there would be less confusion? Or do you think that that's done purposefully so there can be a little bit of drama?
I think it's reality at the end of the day. I think we need a little bit of both. So I think we need more. I think we need a better schedule as we film things and a better storyboarding. and I think Q is still kind of learning that part.
Mm-hmm.
I think I
see yourself dabbling in production at some point, because for some
I could see. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I can see you in that arena because you have a clear vision, and I can tell that you're very balanced.
I just see you taking over for Imani. Take over for Imani.
I don't want that lady job.
This time.
But no,
Let me
I definitely
ask you
could
this.
see like 4 or 5. Like I could see a couple of things that would have been better had we fit. Like had I been part of production, as we're doing the episodes, like I would like as we're filming, I would have been doing confessionals as we went, as opposed to after everything was over with. That's just me. And we're doing
Or
all the
maybe the
confessionals
next
now.
day or something like that. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Now that you are on this show, you become a part of that fraternity of people that have been on these YouTube gay reality shows or whatnot. So, have you been reached out to by a lot of the other people that's on the show? What has been that experience been like in maybe getting feedback from other people on other chasing reality shows or on the other ones like come ups and G status and circles and all of those other things that are going on? What has that been like?
I've only gotten feedback from the chasing reality people, which is it's all been cool. So I like my reception has been very good. I wouldn't. You said reached out from the other. I'm not really checking for most of the other shows because like,
Blue?
and it's no shade, but like people give Chasing L.A. a lot, but a lot of these other franchises are much worse than us. So I don't.
Listen, you ain't gonna get no arguments from me on that one.
Like I watch them, but like as far as what they present and what we got, like we're not doing anything no different than some of the other stuff that people are watching. So to me, so I don't.
At least your episodes come out every week like it's supposed to.
Okay, we're not going to talk about the unstable hustle. We're not doing that. Nope.
See, I ain't
Yeah,
even
it's
name
been a
no
whole
name.
year having it. I'm like, they dropped that last episode. I said, well, girl, I forgot everybody's storyline.
Right. Who's on this show? Is this a real show?
After people want to start talking, after people want to talk about lynching people and stuff, I stopped watching. So,
would you do another season if asked to come back?
Yeah. I didn't get to show enough. I didn't get to show enough of my drag.
You ain't getting enough to fight the girl. I need to see you do 2 to the head, 3 to the body.
Every TikTok viewer that I have is coming on there and like, Hershii, we've seen your TikTok. When are you gonna read somebody? I said, y'all do not need to hold your breath because it's not gonna happen. I only do all of that when it's necessary, and none of these people bother me enough to do all of that.
No, he saved his reads for other people. You get people together. Don't act like you don't.
Right.
Because you
speaking of other people and other things, what other things that you feel comfortable sharing would you want to move into with your drag? I don't want to state the obvious, RuPaul, but I mean, where do you want to go? Like where is there? Have you figured that out? Are you still trying to figure it out? I
don't know. Pageantry is definitely next to me. Like I want my drag to get to the point to where it's like unclockable from head to literal toe. And pageants are those girls, like from the root to the toot, like they have it all together. And I want to study under some pageant queens and like get a couple of titles next. Like I don't just like drag because it's on TV right now. Like I love drag because I love drag and all facets of it. Yeah,
I get it. You gotta come out here to the East Coast so me and Abby can come see you perform, honey.
I'm trying to do a tour thing. I'm trying to get a tour thing together.
Oh,
I need to get cool with some clubs.
You know, with things opening up, you know, all of the prides are gonna be, popping. So I'm sure, reach out to a couple promoters. I'm sure they'll have you down to the pride. They pay the girls to come to pride now.
Yeah, I'm working on that.
Yeah. Looking forward to it, honey. So, let me ask you this.
Okay.
What good and bad do you like about us? Because we've asked you a lot of questions about you and what you do. But sometimes you need a chance to talk to us as reviewers. Because sometimes we give a lot. Well, they give a lot. I don't give a lot.
You give a lot.
I don't give a goddamn thing.
Hershii is my MVP every week. Every week. Okay.
I ain't giving Hershii nothing.
I'm about to say my reviews have been 10s across the board, so I have nothing to give anybody.
Okay.
There are no complaints that I have. My deception has been great.
Exactly.
In the category is.
Hershii is my MVP every week, honey.
From the very first episode.
Okay.
Yeah. Honey,
'Cause
all
I was-
Mama
you-
was
you
caring
was-
about was, can I get a refill, bitch?
Right,
Like, if
that
these
was it
girls
right
ain't
there. When
gonna
you
go
said
at it, I might as well
your
be drunk.
drink.
At
Okay.
least.
Right, when you was looking for that refill on your drink, I was like, he my favorite. And then, like I said, I need the meme. I need to go back into that episode and create a meme of you laying on that damn yoga mat eating your orange.
Madam,
Really,
I was
like,
confused.
You were really
Again.
thinking, like, what are we doing right now?
Again.
Yes,
Each and every
I
time, like at
already
the end of this episode that just came out, like they panned the camera across my face, and I'm like, where is this coming from? Like, what are we doing?
Right.
I ain't got my
Like, I just came here to be cute. I got all up in my fineries, and you niggas don't know how to act.
Child.
And I don't want. I really want Andre to let that shit go. Talk about something. He didn't play that song on purpose. Oh no, ma'am. You played that song on purpose.
Now,
'Cause
any
out
other
of
time
all
I could
of the
defend Andre, but I
dozens-
was too late. I was too late for that. I came in late, so I couldn't even tell you if it was on purpose.
All of the dozens of Missy Elliott's songs, you
You know that
purposely
was on
picked
purpose.
the one song that you imitated for him. Girl, I don't buy you, honey.
Listen,
I do
and
not buy you, Andre, honey.
And I would have respected Andre if he had said, girl, you know I had to shade you a little bit. Like, I would have respected, because that's all it was.
Yeah.
I think it was.
But then he got mad at King Payne for getting mad. You beat me.
But they cut again, like they make it happen so quick. Those arguments are much longer than what's on camera.
Yeah, I figured
So it didn't go from just they started chatting for 2 seconds and then he said, okay, well get out there. Like they argued for like a little bit and then it was like, okay, well you can go.
And because you live out there, and I've never been to California before. Does it get that cold out there?
It is, to King Payne's defense, it was cold. Yes, it does get cold enough for those jackets.
Cause baby, he be out there like he's in the Alaskan tundra, honey.
It depends on.
Whoa. You don't get to talk. You don't.
Oh, I know, because I'm always cold. I'm always cold. So
I just want
I
I can open my
understand.
mouth to say nothing because
You don't
I know I'm always cold.
with your Bernie Sanders ass.
But no, the problem is nobody else had on big burly jackets like him. And
Because
that's
he
why
took
we all
ours
look
off.
crazy.
Now with me, like the night of the love and hate thing, I didn't need. I had my pants and my breasts and stuff on, so I was warm with the geisha on by itself. So I don't need coats when I go out and drag because I'm warm. All that generates heat. But for the most part, like we take, like when we about to film or something, like some people take off their jackets, some people already have their long clean stuff. Just King Payne really likes his little coats.
Listen, because what's funny is he be wearing them big ass bubble coats and fanning himself. Sir, I'm gonna need you to pick one. I'm gonna need you.
Right.
But listen, I like King Payne though. I like King Payne, but I'm gonna need you to pick one though, sir. I'm gonna need you to pick one.
No, he gonna have no coats on for the rest of the
King
season.
Payne don't owe me nothing. After what he did to Andre, when Andre was trying to talk to him like that, and he said, "I will if you don't talk to me."
That man is hilarious.
I feel like I said, "I know you the fuck like it."
That man is hilarious.
I was crying laughing.
I do have one question that I wanted to ask you since you were introduced. Now,
yes,
both drag and in regular state, gorgeous, beautiful. Can you please let us in on your routine, like your skin routine? Like, can you fill a girl's in?
Minding my business.
that on TikTok. It's water.
Water and minding my business. I promise I don't do nothing. I do take a biotin vitamin. Where is it at? It's in my room. I do take a vitamin like every week, but other than that, I don't do nothing to it. I'm actually very terrible. Like with the way I do my makeup, put it on and take it off, I'm actually very terrible to my skin.
You have great skin. You're always shining, honey, and I'm here moisturized. Good, honey. Good.
Cocoa butter is cocoa butter. It's
That's
my
my
lotion.
friend.
Listen, ain't nothing wrong with it. I think sometimes we get so caught up in all of these fancy serums and formulas, and sometimes it's just the basic
The
stuff.
regular stuff, yeah.
When we was kids,
feel
remember
very
that cocoa butter? Remember that cocoa butter
Ma'am, I
stick?
feel attacked.
That was me.
My mama
Who
would
feels
rub that little
attacked?
cocoa butter stick over your face and send you outside and go on about your business and go on fry. So
Oh
Hershii,
man.
I mean, so I know that a lot of this stuff was filmed months ago.
Yeah.
Where are you now as far as I mean, as much as you're comfortable sharing, where are you now as far as like COVID, as far as your job situation? I know the clubs are opening back up.
Mm-hmm.
I know you've been very candid and transparent about how COVID hit you financially and stuff like that. So where are you now with everything?
Drained all my little pockets. No, I'm doing better. I'm doing much better now. I just got a second job and I work 2 jobs during a week and then drag. I'm one of the for lack of better words, like low tier queens. So like our jobs are just now starting to pick up. Like I'm starting like I don't have a home club, I'm at everybody's club.
Yeah.
So like so like those jobs are starting to pick up more often. So I expect by maybe July I'll be working like regularly during the weekends, but it's starting to pick back up. I just wanted a regular job so I can keep the rent paid and the car note. I know that's right. Drag you can do anywhere.
I feel one of our subscribers in the chat said wanted to know, do you do virtual drag shows?
I do. I'm trying to I'm working on like trying to do that regularly, but it feels weird doing I don't have room in my apartment to do it all the time. And then my internet is a little wonky, but I'm going to work on trying to do that, like make that often since a lot of people online like me now so that everybody can see me.
Yeah. I would also like you to do a couple tutorials. Thank you. That's just personally for she who loves makeup. A couple tutorials. That's all. Just especially that one eye look that you did when you did the live and you had the white shimmer on the. It was gorgeous. I need you to do a tutorial.
Is it the blue one? The one that's in blue?
No, when you did the live, you had like it was like armor almost. The outfit was like it looked like armor.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to look it up. Okay.
That was a recent one, right, Evie? I think I saw that one. Yeah, that was really cute.
Yes.
You had on like this like
the mirror, the reflective one.
Yes.
Okay, okay. I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I have my
very Game of Thrones, honey. You were ready for war, man. Here for it.
I did a video on that. That video is coming out soon. We did a downtown LA drag excellence video where most of the queens that work in downtown LA, we got together and did like they're doing a compilation of all of us like performing. So I'm going to be in that. So that outfit's going to be in that.
Ooh.
Did you and Alicia ever hook up to do that event that you were talking about on the roof, I believe?
No, it was supposed to happen actually after this episode, but the park that we like rented out, like the city like shut down again. So they canceled it.
I remember that. Okay. So
yeah.
Okay.
So this, yeah.
Anybody who you wouldn't like to see on next season?
Oh my God.
Wouldn't like to see? I would like to see. I'm not gonna say wouldn't like to see. I would like to see more working from certain people.
From whom?
Which people would you like to see working? Because
the people who aren't working.
No,
and that's no shade when they come for me, but I mean.
Oh, Father God, God.
But some of that is them, and some of that is also production. Because I know some people actually did have some work scenes that just didn't make it to the show, which doesn't make sense to me. So, like production, some of the calling out that production is getting is warranted. I'm giving them a pass because, like, first show or whatever. But I do know some people that said I filmed some work scenes and they just didn't use it. I know one scene in particular we did with Quan, and I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, child. I was high as a kite. I had too many edibles because I knew they was about to be arguing. And I'm glad they didn't debut it because I was back there high as a kite, baby. They was arguing and I'm behind the whole cast like so I'm actually glad they didn't use it, but yeah.
We'll say sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes to just get through it. Okay.
I had one before we walked in, and then some stuff happened behind the scenes with production, and then they started arguing outside. I said, "Girl, let me just slide me one more because they getting started."
They slide it in,
and then we all went across the street, and they had us like standing, getting ready to do a conversation about everything that happened, and it all slapped me at one time, and I just said, "Whoo."
Well, you know, the reason I never give production too much is the reason I do give them a lot is because just like Soulful Dog said, first show on an established channel, you've had the blueprint is already made for you.
That's T.
And when you have these other seasoned producers that you've worked with, you know, and you yourself, and this is no
and
slight.
Kwame reviewing people and be reading down.
But and the thing about it is, though, even with Q, though, you yourself have said on many of public platforms before that y'all submit work scenes to production, and they don't. Especially in Chasing Dallas season 2, I heard a lot about that from the cast. And they're doing all these work scenes, and a lot of times they're filming them themselves, and they submit them, and they get chopped. So you don't want to show it. You would rather the drama aspect of it. But again, you're getting too much of the drama, and we're not getting that balance that we're looking for. So that's why I never try to let production off too easy, because at this point, this is your third or fourth franchise on an established platform. So there really is. Girl,
and to me, and I don't like the excuse from any productions team. Like, I love Chasing Reality, but I don't like the excuse from any production team that there's no room, because frankly, we do it they do it themselves. So y'all can put out as many episodes as y'all want and fill it with what y'all want. The people are going to watch. So just fill up, like, if you want the show to be an hour, fill that hour up. We work it, like, we out here.
We don't want an hour. Let me say that, production. We don't want an hour.
Why not?
You right in the pocket. But it's too long. Listen, the reviewers will tell we do not want an hour. Give us about
30 minutes either. So which one you want?
Listen, you need to listen. It's 40 to 45 minutes, okay? Just like when we watch a regular hour show on network television, it's only about 42 to 44 minutes of actual real show in an hour of television. When we sit there for an hour, sometimes those scenes drag on too long. Sometimes, like,
but the problem with that's what I'm saying. The problem with that is that they don't fill it with the other stuff that's missing. Because if you chop off half of most of those scenes and put some work in there, people wouldn't be complaining about the work scenes.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, I'd rather you give me more episodes and have it be just a 40 to 45 minutes. An hour, listen, that's a lot of time. And when you talk about watching the show, taking notes, filming a review, editing that review, and all of this stuff that goes along, that could be a 4-5 hour process. Yeah. And the other thing I want to say about production is this. You are 5 episodes in, and we still fucking seeing cameras, cameramen, and all kinds of shit that we should not see on a goddamn episode. I'm sorry, I'm sick of it. Because if I see another cameraman, another camera and shit, I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind. The shit is unprofessional, it's tacky, and you should know better. Especially from Q, who professes to be this media mogul in his mind, and then work with all of these people and all of this stuff. Bitch, you should know better.
That part's none of my business.
It gives me very Dolomite, where the move like the might be in the
fuck we doing.
Now I will say for the earlier episodes, some of that was some of the mishaps in the storylines, as well as the way some of the stuff was filmed, was the cast members' fault, because we were just trying to.
That's why your production to tell them to move or to move the cameras. I don't buy it. Save it, honey. You can't protect her. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved.
But let me say this. I don't agree with El Teddy with what he just said. I don't have a problem with an hour-long episode if it's going to be scenes and action and things of that nature. What I don't want is a 20-minute scene where ain't shit happening like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's the part I don't like. I don't like these unnecessarily long scenes for no reason. Like, I don't. So I don't mind an hour long episode, because they have commercials and stuff in there. You know, we got Amani Van Zap, we got other ads going on. But my problem is like that scene at the beginning of this episode. That was 10 minutes, 15 minutes of Alicia and Jane talking about absolutely nothing.
And I guarantee you, it would have been much better if they would have chopped some of that and then just added in somebody, like one of the work scenes that somebody was complaining about. Because I don't want to put that. I want them to tell their story. So if there was a work scene that was missing, Add it in there. Just toss it in there, show because people want to see what we're doing.
Right, because the conversation with the two of them last week was great. You know, they told their story, they shared, they bonded, and then this week we get part 2, and basically the only purpose for you keeping that in was for them to talk about Andre's event and talk about whether Alicia still has beef with him or not. You could have spliced that into the episode last week. They were in the same outfits, in the same place. You could have just put it in a different order, and then we could have moved on. And so I feel like, and again, I'm not, that's just an example. So I don't have a problem with an hour-long episode. What I don't want is a bunch of 15-minute scenes that don't
say nothing. Yeah.
I don't trust them with an hour yet. If you give me 40 good minutes, a good 40-minute episode, I might let you graduate to the hour. But I don't trust you with an hour yet. You ain't graduated there yet.
So you don't want to see 10 minutes of somebody getting their hair fake flat ironed for no reason?
Right.
They were really flat ironing her hair.
There was no steam coming off of them. Listen, I know it looked like you were getting your hair flat iron. Their hair looked the same before she ran over it with that flat iron as it did after. There was no steam, no heat coming from it, nothing. There wasn't a sizzle, a crack, nothing.
It was a light flat. A light flat iron.
Okay.
You really tried. You really tried it.
I love you so much, Hershii. I love you so much.
Just a light flat iron.
I have one last question. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I have to get myself together for work. But one question I have heard, I get a lot of tea, honey, and I try my best not to be messy with the tea that I get.
Okay.
Since we have you here, you're a cast member of the show, and I have a question. Is it true that there is favoritism with certain cast members, more specifically D. Hawkins and Andre?
No.
Okay.
No. See, I don't want to give too much because that's not my tea to tell, but I can tell you it's absolutely no favoritism with D. Hawkins in particular.
Okay.
Absolutely not. I will say some stuff from the first night with Andre was taken out, and a lot of us didn't get that. But I wouldn't say there's favoritism.
Okay. And I will say that we've seen more Andre work scenes than anybody else's work scenes. Now I will say that.
We do see that, and from what I'm hearing from other cast members is that they submit a lot of work scenes that they just don't get used. This is what I'm hearing from. The work scenes I submitted got used. It's one that might not get used, but that's only because production was not able to be there like I wanted them to. I did the Drag Race girls were here in Los Angeles, and I was one of the show openers. And I thought I was going to be able to have I filmed some of it, so if they use it, it's fine, but there was a lot of people there. I wanted to show that off, but production wasn't able to.
Let me just be honest with you. If they're gonna show tired ass ran through April Jones and Amina,
the walking venereal disease of April Jones. She's a walking venereal disease.
So, I mean, I'm just saying though, we're gonna show them, then girl,
I can't do her.
Because all they were doing was sitting there talking. That really wasn't a work scene because you weren't working. You were sitting down. You were having a break, girl. You were having a sandwich with the girls.
If they had anybody but April Jones, I might have been here for it. But that trollop, no ma'am. No,
not trollop.
Yeah.
She is. I didn't mince words.
I
did not mince words.
I heard that word in so long, but no, I don't think there's any favoritism. I just think there needs to be a better distribution of the work scenes. I think my perspective, I think some work scenes are held above others. It appears to be that way.
Do you think it's that way because of because I see. If you're going to introduce a so-called quote-unquote celebrity, I do this very painfully. I don't even want to consider those two whores anywhere near a celebrity.
Oh my God.
But do you think that's who they're interacting with, who they're bringing along on this journey? Because there was one scene, too, that I was surprised that was able to be filmed. Damn, I forgot what it was, child. But and
I was surprised that the scene with the guy that was the director, that was his friend. I didn't even see the purpose of that scene. I mean, but it was all. I guess it was all right. I was like, girl, when they was by the
that pool needed to be clean. That pool was dirty.
It did. It did.
That pool was dirty as hell.
It sure was. It did. I thought the same thing. I thought I was the only one that caught it.
No, my friend called me and said the same thing. They couldn't clean that pool before they filmed.
I thought the same thing. That dirty ass pool.
You know, you think of California, you don't think a fall season exists over there like that, but all the trees blew their fucking children in that bitch, honey.
I'm not doing this with y'all.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, the Xmas scene with Jeremy. That's what I was thinking about too. Like,
yes,
Caitlin Allen is so on a level of girl. Like that's.
And then my boo Terrell Grice was in there. I love me some Terrell Grice.
I love me some Caitlin Allen. I love him.
So
I like Caleb, but it's Terrell Grice for me.
Like, if you have a celebrity friend or someone you're so-called working with on that level, it does seem as if they're geared towards, let's show that. And I get it. I understand, but this is about your cast at the end of the day.
Yeah, and that's the one thing I didn't want to do. Like my drag mother, she was on the winning house of Legendary. She was just on they won the first season of Legendary, the House of Balmain. So Calypso, she's my drag mother. Yeah, she's my drag mother.
That's your drag mother. Oh.
Yeah. I didn't want to do. I thought coming into the show, I thought that was tacky though. I was like, I'm not about to use my mama when this is about me. So. I mean, it depends.
You were supposed to roll up at your mama's house, go to one of their good rehearsals. Oh, I'm just here with, the house of Balmain.
And then my drag sister said, no, fuck all that. Get Calypso on the show. I said, no, I'm not bothering her for all that. She said, no, fuck all that. Get your mama on the show.
Okay. I'm with your sister, honey. That's God. Yes, ma'am, for being well connected.
Because we do Legendary too. We review Legendary as well. So.
Yeah, I was season
Legendary this morning.
They tried Mugler.
No, they didn't. They didn't try Mugler. No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
Yes, they did.
They tried Teachy to me. They tried Teachy to me.
No, they did not. No, they
did. Yes, they did. Let me tell you something.
They tried Teachy. If Teachy went later, Teachy probably would have got a 49 or 50 had they gone later.
Let me say something. I love Mugler because I love Tati. When I tell you I love Tati,
I just didn't like them this week. I didn't like that stuff over old boy's face because they had sloth, right?
Yeah.
I didn't like that stuff on his face.
Yeah, but the choreography was everything.
Listen, no, it wasn't because none of them featured spins like I wanted. I wanted to be dizzy. I wanted somebody spinning like a fucking top.
I'm sorry. Sloth was hard.
Damn it. Where was the spin?
I did not like Mugler.
Well, I love Mugler. Yeah, I love Mugler.
Now you're giving them too much.
I'm giving Mugler too much.
No, this one over here next to you told me they were supposed to be in the bottom.
Okay. I love Mugler. Listen, let me tell you something. But yeah, but I do think Teachy got robbed. I think they got robbed.
Teachy got robbed for real.
I do.
Only because they went first. Because when they came out of that dress, when mother was sitting up, setting up on that thing, that was sickening.
We did that last season.
Yes, that was everything.
We did that last. Balmain did that last season.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, look here. I'm gonna go ahead and bow out, but Hershii, I really do appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you, and everyone, I love y'all. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. And
all right.
I'll talk to y'all later. Okay.
Nice meeting you. Thank you.
Nice meeting you as well, honey. You keep doing things and you keep pushing through on these whores.
I'll do what I can.
Listen, Hershii, we're going to have you come on and talk about this good Legendary with us because I see that your opinion is wrong and I need to correct you wrong.
Listen, there's nothing that I can do nothing about your lack of taste, sweetie. All right.
Do you have something for me to taste so that I can correct my lack of taste?
No, he doesn't.
Well, you got plenty from Mugler, and clearly your buds aren't working.
But Mugler was not good for me. I'm sorry, it was not good for me. They
I'm
had
not going to
moments.
say they were the best of the night, but I'm not going to say but they did try them on the judges. The judges were trying it the first couple of houses. The
The
judges were
judges,
giving them.
The judges last night were
really
all
Daisy
over the
the
place.
whole episode. They
You
were,
know
they
who's
were
judging is really
for Law to turn to Jamila and be like, "Oh no, you got to justify it." I don't gotta just. It's my scores. What the fuck
yeah.
I
I
said.
would have read him down.
He
I was like,
really, Lord, I don't trust none of his judgments because he really be trying it.
Right,
But you know who's been all over the place for me. I don't be understanding Laomi's judging sometimes because some of the times it be like, okay, I understand, but some of the time I be like, girl, how did you give this group 7 and this other group a 10? And clearly, I'm like, girl, what the fuck? Girl, we look for you to vote, not judge. Okay, sit over there and vote and do it one more.
She's a legendary. She's supposed to judge.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, she's the
only one qualified.
But y'all know me. I keep saying I want Deshaun to be a judge. Deshaun should be a judge.
I never understood why Deshaun wasn't a judge and they didn't make the one girl. What's the one girl with the hair? What's the other girl on there that with
Jamila?
Jamila should be the host and Deshaun should be
Jamila should be
exactly. We can barely understand what Jamila be saying with that accent, so she can't be the host.
Jamila should be the host and Deshaun. Because Deshaun is just as iconic and legendary as Laomi at this point.
Absolutely.
Right.
And Prince who was on and so is Prince who is in the house of Mugler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know Prince. What's the name? All three of them were on America's Best Dance Crew.
Yeah. Yep. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, to be perfectly honest, most of the time, that's Laomi's opinion is the only one I even care about.
Which is why I be paying attention. I don't listen to the rest of the people.
But the rest
I
of
only listen to Laomi.
Right, and I'm with you. I think that I'm gonna tell you who I would have loved, because I like Precious as a MC. I would love for them, just like they have guest judges. I would love for them to have some guest MCs come in there sometime, because I would love to see Precious and
now. I will say I respected Normani this week. For being a dancer, she was real critical. Now she seemed to know a lot more of what she was talking about than a lot of the other guest judges that they had, and so I really appreciated her because some of the guest judges just be giving out stuff. Well, and she was like,
I liked Uncle
Same thing last week with Uncle Clifford.
Uncle Clifford was good too. Uncle Clifford was good too. So maybe this year they're going in a manner of doing better.
I do like the new point system because it makes it easier to put them in.
And it's clear because last season I think things got very muddy when you would just like basically they would choose, because again, just like we saw last night where they were all over the place. Yeah, it's hard. It would be hard for you to figure out where you're gonna be if the judges can't figure out what they're looking for. And so I do think that the point system does make it, I like the new point system too.
Yeah.
I like the point system. I still say that nobody spun enough for me. Like I don't understand. You did one spin and that's supposed to highlight elements.
I disagree. I don't feel like it was only one spin. I mean, there was.
I think they gave Balenciaga too many points. I would have gave Balenciaga.
Was that good?
Balenciaga did not deserve a 49 last night.
It could not have been me because I wanted. With the ones who did Medusa, I wanted them to have that stripper pole in like the center of the catwalk and have that baby spinning the entire time on that pole. That's what I was looking for.
For me, Balenciaga,
he never got off the pole because he was spinning the entire 3-4 minutes.
For me, Balenciaga, they gave them that 49 just because they're Balenciaga, and I think they just be giving them points just because. But let's be clear, they did not earn a 49 last night.
I don't think they were that good last night.
Balenciaga, what did they do?
They had on the white and trimmed with different colors. They did the Willy Wonka. They did the Willy Wonka.
They did Gluttony.
The candy one? They killed that. Yeah. I ain't about to play with y'all.
No. I probably would have gave them I would have gave them like the 43 that Teachy got and probably gave Teachy their 49.
No, because they were the only group that clearly did their sin.
Yes,
Like
they did. It was
Chi
very clear what
Chi
their
did
spin
wrath,
was.
but it was like it wasn't giving wrath. It was giving like they were like sleeping.
They gave me. I got wrath out of that.
I didn't
I
get
got
wrath. I
anger.
got like morning sickness.
Morning sickness doesn't make you angry.
It does. As
Oh
soon as
well.
you have good wrath,
Oh
yes, it
well.
does. It
When you
makes
right,
you
you
angry.
right.
Let me just.
When you right, you right.
I mean,
I thought that I liked the House of Garcon. I loved what they did. Vanity.
yeah,
I hated
Garcon was good.
it. It was boring. It was
No,
boring.
It
no, they're the ones who
Boring.
produced it the most.
They did
They
3
did it the
spins
most.
and then walked in a circle, and then the
First
mama
of
came out
all,
and said
I
hi, and
wanted.
then it was the end.
That's where they had Tonka, the big guy in the blue with the train on his. I thought they were gonna put him in the middle and let that nigga spin like a top with the train on that thing, just be whipping it in the circle. That's
Exactly.
make me dizzy with the spinning. Where's the spinning? Where's the spinning? I don't. Okay.
You know what? We
Now,
This
I
baby the
will
have to
say,
do a
spin.
watch along.
Hershey, you gonna have to come on and do this legendary watch
Yes.
along with us because this
Absolutely.
got to be. We have to do this because I have to show you how you're
Because
wrong.
clearly we're gonna be arguing. You said what?
Clearly, I have to show you all of your wrongness.
To
All of your
show me
wrongness.
that I'm wrong, I would have to be wrong, and I'm not.
Sir, that's not how this works.
That's what
Oh,
we're
I
missing
love
how
you,
here.
Hershey. I love you.
We're gonna have to do this.
That's
have
what
to
we're
do this.
missing here.
Get them. Listen, Hershey, get him all the way together. Please get him all the way.
Because I'm not wrong. I would have to be wrong, and I'm not.
I mean, well, you're right as much as I am. You don't have to brag about it. I mean,
But
what are we
that's
talking
true.
But
about?
that's cute. Okay, so also I know Mother Sasha is beautiful in everything. I love her. I
Oh
would
my
like
gosh,
to see
yes.
different eyeshadow on her face because she's had the
Oh,
same eyeshadow.
I
On her
don't even notice eyeshadow, so I
I
don't
do.
know. I wouldn't know.
It's
I have no
because
idea.
I tried to
That's
recreate
her.
today with the
She
burgundy and the
loves.
blue on the bottom. Is it a signature of hers? That's all she does.
Did we freeze up?
He froze.
It is a
Oh.
signature because she has a big eye.
It's
Can
a
you see
signature
me?
of hers. Okay, that makes
Can you
more
hear me
sense.
now?
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
I
Okay,
can
you're
hear
back.
you.
Yeah, you're back.
yeah.
I
Okay.
think I do
Okay.
think
Yeah, her eyes. She likes
in
big eyes, so she likes doing that. Yeah.
Okay.
I do think at the end when they had the guys walking, I thought the guy from Icon beat the guy from Orichi. I liked him better when they did the film catwalk. I liked him better than I liked the Orichi guy when they did the film catwalk.
So you like the guy who was the
Go.
prom, dressed
No.
in the prom outfit more than the devil outfit?
No.
I don't think so. I didn't.
Now I think the Orichi guy did better at the other walk than he did when they did the first walk, but when they did the fifth walk, I like the Icon guy more than I like the Orichi.
I didn't. I felt like he ate him up. I felt like he ate him. He got on there with the boots.
Teddy, I am so disappointed in you.
He definitely got on. He did.
He
did
ate
that.
him up.
He
ate
did that.
him up.
Uh-oh. Y'all
I
losing
do
me.
think all the chops deserve chops for me. All of the chops deserve chops because for me, the moment I saw any Twitch, any sachet, any extra love, go use chops. Sorry, girl, get out of here. Girl, get out of here. Because I was like, what? Girl, get out of here. Get out of here. You had on heels at all. Girl, the first time I saw a sachet, a twitch in your step or anything, girl, get out of here. We're not doing that. We're not doing none of that. None of it, honey. Girl. Anyway, now we done kept you long
Can y'all
enough.
hear I'm losing y'all?
That's that California internet that you got over there.
What we're not gonna do, sir, is that
We love you, Hershii. Hershii, that's a sign of respect. I don't usually banter with people like this. I usually just can't stand people. At this point, I'm usually checked out.
That's very true.
I'll be like,
That's very true.
at this point, I'm usually checked out. Like, okay, girl, I done got what I need to get. I'm checked out.
I think we might have lost, but I think we was going to wrap it up, but I think we might have lost Hershii.
I know. Well, we want to thank Hershii for coming through and being marvelous and
Yes.
their favorite phenom
Yes.
that he
Yes,
is.
we love him.
Y'all don't forget to watch Chasing L.A. every Thursday at 8 p.m. on
Every
Chasing
Thursday.
Reality's YouTube channel. Yeah, we lost Hershii. We'll see if we get him back once we wrap this up. Watch, please, if you have not subscribed to my brother and sister, please do. I don't know how it became the House of Treasure. I'm sorry, I got tickled.
We'll talk about that in the after show.
So please subscribe to my brother and sister. They have a second channel called the Teacher Project 2.0 for all
I'm going live
teachers.
tonight.
And El Teddy is going live at 11:30 this evening. It's a boys' night out. It's gonna be nasty. It's gonna be.
We're gonna have some guests. We're gonna have some guests.
It's gonna be nasty and raunchy and
he has
inappropriate as hell.
And I'm too young to be in it, so I won't be there because I feel like I'm way too young for what is going to happen.
I know it won't be that bad.
Not only am I way too young, I'm too innocent. I'm too innocent.
No. I'll say it like this: you'll be good the first 30 minutes,
and then we got to get out. He gonna put us out the room.
Watch this. No, I'm not gonna put you out the room, but you'll start to gander and see. Yeah, this is my checkout point. But no, we have some good guests coming on tonight, and I'm sure they'll have a lot of fun talking about stuff. They'll keep it cool and peachy.
All right. Okay, so y'all go over there so El Teddy can be nasty. Please follow.
Oh, it's me, D. I gotta send you the link. It's me, D. I gotta send you the link.
Go ahead, Abby.
Okay. Please follow all of the Justice League that is giving you the real tea, Scotty by Nature, the Cats Meow, YB Entertainment TV, this one and that one. Also, if you here and you don't follow me, follow me. I'm a good time. If you haven't yet subscribed to my
Wait, what? The way that came out.
That didn't come out right.
I am a good time. Y'all think I'm a good time?
No, that didn't come out right. That was like, girl, I'm a good time. Yeah. So you might need to be on that tonight. Girl.
Listen. I did a Shein haul video today that's almost at 170 some odd views already. Shaking the table. Just because I'm half naked in some bikinis, look at the Lord doing a new thing. If you haven't subscribed to my podcast, That's Not My Ministry, please go over to the YouTube channel. If you want to just listen to it as a podcast, it's available on Spotify, iTunes, and Spreaker. I think that's, wait.
Is it Hershii?
I think so. But we are in it. Thank y'all for coming out. We love y'all. God bless you.
Are we going to the after show now?
Going to the after show. Yes, we are going to the